It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS.
What if it is a demotion? I mean, let's say it's performance related, but you want to give somebody an opportunity to work back. So it's a very clear message of let's call it a probationary period, right? Where you're hurting for people, you know this person has it in them, but for whatever reason, they just need to get back. Are you always framing it up as it isn't a demotion, or is there a way to give somebody that option to say, hey, this is what we believe in. We need you to work back towards this, but this is the reason why. Is there ever a time when that's the message, or is it just that just isn't it?
I don't know. Me personally, I feel like if I'm demoting somebody, I'm probably going to let them go. Okay. Just because they haven't proven that they can, be successful in what we've given them for a responsibility as it is. I went and worked a couple weeks ago, and I jumped on a boom lift with some guys for a day, and it was a lot of fun. And one of the guys working with me said a few things about my general manager that I know we heard from other guys within our company. And I hit that stop button. I'm like, you ever say that again, I'm throwing your ass right off the lift. You're done.
And you got a workers' comp problem?
Did I scare you? And he was like shaking. But that's an instance right there. I'm like, if you start going that direction, you're done. Like, I'm sorry, man, you can't work for me. So,
right.
That's kind of setting examples for everybody else in your business too. If you're going to let everybody be demoted, well, I don't really have to perform, and I'll always have a spot here. Then they're going to get comfortable. So, right. I would think somebody who's going to be demoted would be a little comfortable. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. I'd probably just let them go.
I think there's got to be on a little bit of a different note, because I've made this mistake in the past, is promoting somebody that really probably in their heart didn't want to take on that management responsibility. I've seen it with technicians, and I've seen it with salespeople, where you can have the best damn salesman in the world, but that person has no business at all managing salespeople. They're not a manager. They're not a leader. They're that guy or that gal that goes out, knows how to schmooze, knows how to talk, knows how to sell.
They're a lone wolf. They go hunting.
Exactly. They're out hunting. They're not leading the pack. That's not what they want to do. And then we had this happen at Blue Skies, where I had a customer service rep that just kept, I want more money. And like, there's no more money in customer service right now until we grow. And, you got to come along with the program. If you need instant gratification, we might be able to create something, because he was a good guy and he was a good customer service guy. So we said, Dan and I talked about it. It's, maybe we can test out some sales stuff with him. And he happened to own a business at one time. And so he was, an entrepreneur. And it was the worst thing that happened. I mean, he produced, not as much money as we thought he would have. I don't think he thought the position was what it actually was. And we were very clear that this is not clear. This is muddy. We haven't tried this yet. Here's the game plan, and it will change. It's not maybe, it's going to change, but we don't know how yet, because we haven't seen the doors open up and the shit happen yet. And that's exactly what happened. And that lasted 3 months. And it was nice knowing you have a good life, and we moved on. So I caution people to promote people that really, just because they've been there a long time, keep somebody on that right seat as long as you possibly can.
Yeah. Brent in Minneapolis is the perfect example. He is the best production manager of a window cleaning company in the world. Dave, you probably got a good guy. We got a better guy. I just don't know. It's like he's
we'll let him arm wrestle someday.
There you go.
If you ever need
together.
Yeah, if you ever need reinforcements, like December to February, he's for hire. We've sent him around to teach people how to clean windows solo, because he'll do $1,200 solo by himself, and be done at 2:00 and be like, yeah, it's a long day. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth the whole time. He's just a blue collar badass dude. He looks mean as hell, and he's the nicest guy on the planet. It's like, it's just so fun. The old ladies love him. The old ladies just love his ass.
That's awesome. But that's great.
back to the demotion question, demotion, promotion, that sort of thing. And Sean, I've definitely, I mean, you were there when we've tried to promote like 3 home cleaning managers in Minneapolis over and over again, just to get me out of like having to manage the day to day when we started this home cleaning business from scratch. And we failed miserably promoting the wrong people over and over and over again, to the point we sold the business because it was like, all right, the person doesn't exist. We got to get Dan out of running the day to day and scrubbing toilets. But on the demotion front, Corey, back to your question of, I don't know that, and like, I don't want to make this binary or definitive. There's people that can handle a demotion and get the fire under their ass and say like, all right, I'm going to prove you wrong. Most people quit. Right. Most people, you demote them and they quit. And that's where, like Terry blows my mind that she in St. Louis has been able to, and like we said, we don't call it a demotion because we're just like, you're not losing money. We're taking some responsibility away, not as a, you're not able to handle this, but as a, we don't want you to have to worry about that. Like, allow us to do you the favor of taking this responsibility that you don't get paid a whole lot more for off of your plate. So you can focus on you, right? If you've got a lot of stuff going on, we just want you to focus on you. But to that point, I think the other way to look at it is take opportunity away. Hey, so we had a guy in Minneapolis this year that was kind of like itching for the next thing, but had tardiness problems left and right. And so, okay, if you want that promotion or that next opportunity, there's just we cannot give you that next opportunity. We can't even talk to you about that next opportunity until you're clearly demonstrating that you can do the things that we're asking you to do in this role. Like, you're not performing this role. You're not even like eligible for the next opportunity, and legit, like, somebody else scooped up that opportunity, and they're kicking ass with it. And that changed his behavior immediately. Like, all of a sudden, super reliable, showing up every day on time, crushing it, big days. And like that message of missing an opportunity, it's the same. Well, we just, and here's like a little marketing tip, but we kind of play the same, I won't say same game, but the same mentality comes into play on the marketing side. You can do a discount and people are like, oh, 20% discount or a $40 discount or whatever. But if you change that same thing, but you just change the way you word it to, Mrs. Jones, you have a $40 credit on your account and you're going to lose that at the end of this month. It's like, oh, I'm about to lose something. Like, now I'm going to act, versus like, hey, Mrs. Jones, we have this $40 off coupon that's good through the end of the month running. Like, oh, I get this deal. That's cool. And I guess it ends at the end of the month. Okay. But you don't get the same behavior of, hey, Mrs. Jones, you have a $40 credit on your account. It's out there and it expires at the end of this month. And that gets more behavior faster. And I think the same thing kind of goes with our employees of like, you're losing this opportunity. Not like, hey, if you do all these things, you're going to get this, but this opportunity already exists for you. And now you're going to lose it. And so the thought of losing something almost seems to be more impactful than the thought of being able to get something later, even though it's the exact same thing, just like flipped around, right?